Yo, what up guys? I wanted to make a video covering the Season 2 update for the finals, and it just recently dropped here on Steam, and in a few days we'll be able to play it. And I'm actually really excited, and before I give my thoughts on the finals and Season 2, I do want to quickly cover what will be happening for Season 2 of the finals. And let me go by looking at the Steam profile page where it talks about some of the changes. One of the big changes we're going to have here is that we're going to get a new 5v5 game mode, which is going to be on the new map, which kind of looks like the Vex maps from Destiny 2. I know somebody on Reddit pointed that out, and I actually agree with him. I do think they did draw inspiration maybe from the Vex from Destiny. We're also going to be getting new things, looks like private matches, maybe similar to custom game modes where you can invite people and play a game out with just your buddies in a custom game, different weekly career progression, and a new skill-based league system. I'm not really sure what this is. I don't believe it is actually the rank system. That is completely different from the league system. And there's also going to be a new hacker playstyle, which is going to be in the form of the new gadgets that we have here. And I know down here it actually talks about it a little bit more, but we also will be getting more rank changes, which will hopefully make it a little bit better. And honestly, I know that the finals came out with an idea of not being an overly competitive shooter, but let's be completely honest here. Every successful live service type of shooter game has a very robust and good rank system, at least hopefully it does. And that is a big draw for a lot of people. For example, I know Overwatch 2 in their new season actually rehauled their complete ranking system because of how casual it was, and it was deterring a lot of people from wanting to try ranked. And in order to combat that, they actually copied what I would assume is more like Riot for Valorant or a game like League of Legends, where you get points for ranking up, and you can clearly see how far you need to go to rank up and how many points and minus points you are getting for winning and losing a game. And I really think the finals needs to adapt it, because if Blizzard, a company that is extremely stubborn with how they make their games, actually change their game to be a little bit more competitive and robust in terms of a ranking system, then a game like the finals should 100% follow in their footsteps and actually try to make their ranking system good. Because I'm going to be completely honest, the finals not having a good ranking system, as somebody who plays a lot of competitive shooter games, was a big reason for why I quit the game, because it kind of got boring. After unlocking the battle pass and doing all the content, there really wasn't anything to grind, and because of that I went to other games to pursue, like trying to hit Radiant in Valorant, trying to push top 500 in Overwatch, and I didn't really have that drive for the finals. And I guarantee you I probably would have played the finals a lot more and found a group of guys to play with if I thought the ranking system was actually really good. Before, I know I'm rambling a lot about the ranking system, but one final thought too is I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot again, because a lot of people like me quit the game. Now that there's less people playing the game because they quit to go play other rank game modes and other shooter games, there's less people to play a new ranking system in the final, so it's going to be even harder now, even if they update it, to make the game more fun for the competitive side. So I hope that this draws in a lot of people and they're able to fully flesh out the ranking system. Okay, but now let's actually go back to the finals page here, and let's talk about a couple of the gadgets, and I'll put some video footage of what they actually look like in game. So we got the dematerializer. From what I can see from the trailer, this is actually just a way to create openings and walls and whatnot, to create either ways to shoot people hiding behind cover or to create little shooting spots for you in a cover. So like if you're defending a cash out, you can create a wall and actually shoot through it to defend the payload. So actually I think this gadget will shake up the meta quite a bit. I actually like this one a lot. Now the controversial one in my opinion is the anti-gravity cube, which in my opinion might be really freaking annoying for people, because I know a lot of people complained about the anti-grav mode that will happen randomly in your game where everything goes low grav. Yeah, well, now heavies, one of the most annoying classes in the entire game, at least in my opinion, are going to get a new ability to do low grav on you at any given time. So hey, if you didn't like low gravity in an actual game, well, now heavies have an anti-gravity cube to launch you into the air, basically. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I do think it leans more into the arcadey, goofy side of the game, which is kind of cool. But on the other side of it, I do think that this particular gadget will be extremely annoying for a lot of people. And lastly, we have the gateway, or not lastly, but we do have the gateway for lights, which is a portable portal, basically. This is going to be quite interesting. I think it's going to give lights a more useful traversal tool for their team, and even potentially for opponents as well. Maybe you can bait people to go through a portal and launch them off the side of a cliff. But anyway, yeah, I actually like this tool for lights as well. It gives them a utility option that might be really useful on some maps. So maybe the new map, the portal is going to be extremely useful and people are going to want to run light because of it. So yeah, I think this is a huge W. I think that having a way for lights to provide something for the team in a game where lights generally don't do too much for their team in general, I think this is going to be a big W for them. And the final gadget is the Data Reshaper, which is another medium gadget where basically they can turn anything into like a harmless object. So for example, they have an enemy mine being turned into a chair, and I'll have videos showing what that is also while I'm talking. I do think this is another really cool idea for getting around fortifications and getting around people who are turtling around to cash out. So yeah, I think they actually created a lot of really cool gadgets and ways to play the game that counteract how people have been playing the game recently, where maybe if you're in trouble medium, you have people who are running their turrets and mines and all that good stuff. Well, guess what? Now you're going to be able to turn all that stuff into harmless objects. That way you can get to a cash out a lot easier. Yeah, huge W. I think all these gadgets are going to be quite good, except the anti-gravity cube, but I already talked about why I'm kind of skeptical on that one. And now we have a new set of weapons that a lot of the classes are going to be getting. We get a burst fire machine pistol, a new FAMAS burst assault rifle, and then a new shotgun for heavies. I'm not really sure how these are going to play out. I can't really talk about it too much. Maybe these are going to be really good, maybe these are going to be really bad, but it does seem that it's pretty cool that they're adding burst rifles where like 3-round bursts are going to be added to the game. And I know that at least from Apex, a lot of controller players are going to love the fact that they have a burst rifle, because at least in Apex, I know that a lot of people love using things like the Hemlock, maybe not the Hemlock, but the Prowler in Apex. I know that is a controller weapon for a reason. And lastly, they talk about the glitchy neon-filled cityscape with the new map. Honestly, it's really cool. And then the new 5v5 game mode, and also changing the new rank system and then having a new league system, which I guess it does actually improve the ranking system, but I'm not really sure what that means exactly. But it does look like we're going to be getting more rewards on the way as well. Okay, but now that we've covered it, we can actually talk about what my thoughts are for the finals. I think these changes are actually extremely good. Everything that a shooter guy would want in a new update for a game has happened. We got new weapons, we got new gadgets, we got a new map, new skins, a new battle pass, updated ranking system. Literally every issue that the game had, with it being a little bit stale because it's been out for a while and you kind of get used to all the maps and they all look kind of the same. Part of the reason I wanted new maps was to do a little bit of goofy stuff, because we're in a basically artificially generated environment and you can do so much cool stuff with that. You don't have to make it realistic. And I'm glad they went the more crazy route by making a futuristic glitch cityscape. I think that's really cool. I'm really glad they did that. The gadgets are all really cool. I think, yeah, huge W. I think this will bring back a lot of players, but the only thing I'm worried about is how they're going to handle the ranking system. I know they are going to add more ways to get rewards from the ranking system to probably incentivize people to play ranked and get addicted to the game. However, I think the main issue I have with that is it really going to improve the ranking experience? Because I remember playing ranked, and even if you're gold, you're fighting people who are like top 500 or like diamond. And the issue with that is, like, yeah, as a gold player, sure, the ranking system is more casual and it's more of a metric to see how much you're playing more than if you're improving in skill. But at the same time, it isn't really fun for a lot of people to try to rank up and fight people who are higher ranked than you. And I think a lot of other games have found that out, and they have a very strict matchmaking system where you're only fighting people your skill level. And like I talked about before, because it didn't have a very good ranking system and a lot of people quit, now there's going to be even fewer people to have a good matchmaker matchmake people accurately. So they're going to have a huge issue. The only thing that they could hope for now is that the new season brings back like 100,000 people and hopefully keeps a lot of them. But outside of that, I think in general, I'm really positive. I hope that the game runs well. I know that some patches come out and the frame rate is really dog shit. I hope they actually change that and that the game releases in a really clean and optimized state. That way we can enjoy the game without having to worry about frame drops and whatnot. And also we get a new game mode. So I forgot to mention that, but yeah, we also get a new 5v5 game mode, which honestly is really cool to me. So anyways, I don't want to make this video too much longer, but yeah, huge W for the finals. I think they did a really good job with counteracting everything negative about the game and fleshed it out a little bit more in ways that are actually fun and interesting and leaned more into that arcadey feel, which I think is really awesome. Hopefully they just deal with the ranking system, that way they can keep people for longer. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm out.